We're live drafting. We're doing it live here on Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. And I want you to all file on in. File on in. Get ready to draft. Where's JT going to go in this draft? Where should JT go? We're focusing on one player really at a time. I mean, we'll take phone calls. The phone lines will be open. We'll do the usual for sure. Total open discussion. But every single draft will focus on one player. JT is the guy we're focusing on today. So file on in. Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, everybody? You're watching the Fantasy Football Show live, late night graveyard edition. Where's our music at? There it is. There it is. I was wondering what was going on. Phone lines will be open in a second. You can actually call in at any moment in time during tonight's live stream. Phone lines are kind of always open. Sometimes I won't answer them if I'm on a rant or I'm doing some sort of news, but phone line's in the corner of the screen, so dial on in. We're going to be scrolling over to this Underdog Fantasy, the big board, which is probably almost all absorbed and over. Let's just see if it's even left. There it is. Oh, look at that green meter, that little indicator. Probably, 85%, 88% full at this point. So if you've been wanting to get into one of these bad boys, you got to make sure you get in tonight. They'll open up some other stuff very, very soon. They always do. But this particular contest will close, and they'll have to come out with some sort of other contest. And so these will be done and over with. You won't be able to get in again. So that link is dropped in the live chat right now. How do you get in the draft tonight? Let me repeat it one more time. First of all, you can use promo code Smitty by going to Underdog Fantasy, or you use the link, very easy, that I've pinned in the live chat. The link is also the first link in the description of the video. If you're watching later on a replay, click the link and sign up using code Smitty. The link will put code Smitty in for you. Okay? We're jumping into this big board draft in about 2 minutes. So I'm going to give everybody a little chance to file on in. The Freak is in here. What's up, man? Peanut Butter is in here. What's up? Appreciate you being here. Nick, feels good to be third person on here. Attaboy. File on in. Hit that like button on your way in the door. I don't know why the notifications aren't going out. It's crazy. We'll fill this up. The room will get full, but people don't realize we're live yet because they haven't got a notification. I'm trying out the blue raspberry prime right now. Not bad. Not bad. I'm not as good as the other ones, but it's doable. Doing it live, Mitch. Doing it live. What's up, Prime? Appreciate you being here. Like the stream for Smitty, says Peanut Butter and Waivers. Appreciate that. All right. So we're going to be getting into this draft in T-minus 30 seconds. It's the big board. I'm going to click on it, but I'm not entering it yet. You're going to hit the green enter button in a second. This is going to be the 30-second timer. You can toggle between the two. We're doing the 30-second timer, which is always the default. Prizes are $200,000 in first place. You can see that right in the middle of the screen here. And then even second place is $50K. 26th through 100th place gets $1,000, which is crazy. You finish 100th place, you get $1,000. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you, Freak. You to the moon as well, pal. Weeks 1 through 14 is the qualifying round. So when we draft tonight, those of us that get in a draft together will be together through week 14. Then at week 14, 3 people part ways and go on to the next round into week 15. I believe you enter a new group of 12. You probably won't stay together. We probably won't stay together. You go into a new group of 12, and then that 1 week of week 15, the top 1 or 2 go to the week 16. The top 1 or 2 go to the week 17. And then once week 17 is there, everybody's in one big league, and there's 200 or 300 people fighting for the best total point race of that week. 0.5 PPR, 1 QB, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 12 bench spots, and a flex. Click the green enter button now. I'm going to wait 4 seconds because there's a little bit of a YouTube delay. And I'm going to get in there. There are 9 spots left. That is probably the most we've had in a while, so you guys should all have no problem getting into this draft. 9 spots remain. 8 spots remain. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Amazing to see Devontae Adams still within a scroll here. He's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. ADP's 10.2, but he's listed as a 9th player suggested. Still way too high for me. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Where's JT gonna go? So 9th is Adams. So 10th is Lamb. Lamb Chops is 10. JT is 11. His ADP is exactly 11.2. Pretty interesting. Feels about right. The 12-13 turn feels about right for JT. I would love to know what you guys think. I'm definitely interested in somebody calling in if they want to discuss the value of JT and whether you think JT at 11-12 is acceptable. 6 more entries to start. So click that link that's pinned in the live chat. Click the link in the description if you're watching the replay. Get all ready to go for the ball. Get all dolled up for the ball next time. Because if you aren't signed up, you won't likely get in. This is a big wait. 7 spots remaining. Usually you won't have this kind of time to click the link, do the minimum $10 sign up using the link and the promo code and getting in time. 6 more to start. But even if you haven't got in yet, I bet you still have time. 6 more to start. Click the link. Let's go. These are real drafts. These aren't best ball. They're $10 entries. Again, here are the prizes. 5 more to start. $200,000 goes to first place. The $50K goes to second. Doing it live. Doing it live. Doing it live. Appreciate you all filing in. Phone lines open. Dial in if you have a question and you want your boy Smitty to help you out. I'm here for you. I work for you. Let's roll. How many to start? 4 more to start. In the meantime, let me hit that phone number button.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
So how are we feeling about this ADP of JT? Now, I'm going to keep track of where JT goes in this draft. So JT drafted at, and then we'll put this on the corner here. JT drafted at. This is what we're going to keep track of. This is how we roll here at the Fantasy Football Show. We have a special topic at hand, right? I love this when we focus on a certain player and we just beat a dead horse on that player for that draft. Draft starts in 45 seconds. We got Blueless. We got Tanner in the building. We got Daly in here. We got J626. We got Rio. We got Hoff. We've got Silver. I don't know if that's our Silver. Ryan. I'm picking at 10. You got Art. Me. What's up? Yeah, we're good to go. Matt's in the building. Every time I click the link, it doesn't take me to the actual draft. That's because you got to click the big board. Like the link, if you're already signed up on Underdog, then once it opens it up, scroll to the big board, click the big board. But you can still get in a draft right alongside of us. Draft with us, bro. But every time, yeah. Isaac, sorry you missed it, bro. All you got to do is scroll to the big board. But make sure you sign up using that link. You got to be going through the link. But once you click the link, it opens up the Underdog app. If you're already signed up and ready to go, just scroll over to the big board. All right, here's the order so far. Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelce, Jamar Chase. Man, Kelce going 2. That's so high. I understand it, but it is extremely high. Isaac, if you missed out, I'm sorry. Go ahead and dial in if you want to just at least have some good conversation. You know what I'm saying? You got a topic you want to bring up, especially around JT. Ask a JT question, ask another question. Hit me up, bro. If you missed out on a draft, I'm here to answer your questions at least. So dial in. Cooper Kupp going number 4. Attaboy. Attaboy, Cooper. Rock out in the building. Take JT in the 10 spot, says Nick. Maybe we should if he falls there just to try it out, because that's the point of this stream. JT, let's see how we feel about JT. Mitch says, eyeball emojis. Eyeball emojis to the early pick at Kelsey. I agree. That was quite early. Quite early, broski. Christian McCaffrey going 5. Diggs going 6. AJ Brown 7. What's up, 49er Media? Appreciate you being here, pal. How are you doing? How's your off season going? AJ Brown 7. Maybe I will take JT at the 10 spot just to test this out, right? But it's gonna be hard if Bijan's there. I'm taking Bijan. I'm not forcing it. He's there, bro. Adams. Whew. That's not one of ours. All right, so Garrett Wilson's there. Breece Hall's there. Oh, did Bijan go? No. Oh, I just scrolled down. I'm going Bijan. I would try out JT and force JT, but because this is an actual, money league, I want to try and win it. So I'm gonna try to use JT. I'm gonna try and draft him, but it's okay if he gets drafted by somebody else. We're just talking about his ADP, and this is kind of the point of the show, right? If we're gonna focus on one player at a time, I mean, think about it. If this is good an exercise to know that I don't want JT at that 10 pick, apparently, that's we just figured out I don't draft JT at 10. We just figured it out. No JT at 10. Isaac's dialing in. Isaac, hopefully I get to you in time. Isaac, what's up, my guy?
What's up, my man?
Hold on, I'm on the clock here. So it did go JT, Garrett Wilson. Let's see here. I'm on Ross, St. Brown, Olave. I'm running out of time here. Let's try Olave here. I'm going to see how this feels. I reached a little bit on him. Can you hear me? Isaac?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I took Olave a little early, bro, but I don't know how I feel okay about it. That was it was a little bit of a reach, but I didn't want to force another player. I took him at 15.
What pick are you?
I'm I'm in the 10 slot, so I took Bijan at 10. Then it went Lamb, and then the 12 pick JT, and then the 13 pick Garrett Wilson, and then back to the 14 pick who just took Lamb. They got Barkley, and then I'm at 10. I got Bijan, and I went a little early Chris Olave. I don't mind it. It doesn't feel like I don't feel like I feel like it's okay. I could have went St. Brown. I could have went one of the quarterbacks, Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. But I think that was a good move for me. I'm really, really high on Bijan and Olave, obviously, you know that. But I'm not scared to take Olave in the second round. I'm not scared at all.
I think Olave has an uptick this year, so I don't think you went too early, man.
Well, yeah, definitely an uptick.
I'm in a draft, right? I mean, I didn't get in with you guys, but I did go to the big board.
Okay.
I'm in. I'm pick 6. I got Diggs so far.
Pick 6 Diggs, okay. How do you feel about that if, let's say, Hopkins gets traded to the Buffalo Bills? Are you feeling at that point you don't like that anymore, that 6 pick?
You know what? I don't. I just feel like Hopkins gets the ball, and Allen looks for him, and I feel like though it could essentially free up Diggs on certain points of the game, though.
Yeah. Okay, so real quickly, let me recap this draft. It went Justin Jefferson, Kelsey, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Christian McCaffrey, Diggs at 6, right where you were drafting in your draft. AJ Brown 7, Tyreek Hill 8, Devontae Adams 9, Bijan Robinson to me at 10, CeeDee Lamb at 11, Jonathan Taylor at 12, Garrett Wilson at 13. So JT and Garrett Wilson, that's solid. CeeDee Lamb went at 11 in that same slot. The guy took Barkley at 2.2. I had the 2.3. I took Olave. So Bijan and Olave. Devontae Adams and Eckler are paired up. St. Brown and Tyreek are paired up. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts are paired up. Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen doing the stack there from that 6 spot, the guy that has the pick that you have, and he just grabbed Jacobs. I don't like that pick as much. Christian McCaffrey, Waddle, and Henry are all paired up from the 3 spot. The 4 spot's got Amari, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith, and Kenneth Walker. Pretty solid. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Nick Chubb going to the 3 spot. The 2 spots got Kelsey, Pat Mahomes, stacked with Breece Hall. That's tough. That's tough, man. Kelsey, Mahomes, and Breece. I love that. That's the best team so far. And then JJ, DK, and Pollard.
Eddie, real quick, I got 10 seconds. Chris Olave, Breece Hall. I'm at pick 19.
Breece Hall.
I took Breece.
Okay, I'm on the clock here. Hold on. I'm gonna go Burrow here. I went Burrow here. I was running out of time myself, but looking at the board, I don't think I made a mistake. There's nobody here that I'm wishing I took. Okay, so I have Joe Burrow, Chris Olave, Bijan. I like that a lot.
Solid.
We got Steven. Steven, you're on the phone live with the Isaac. We call him the Isaac. Apparently.
Hey.
Sorry, Isaac. I don't know where that came from. You're now the Isaac. Steven, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Smitty? I was reading on Sports Illustrated that I guess, according to a former NFL executive, so I don't know how serious this report is, but I guess this NFL executive spoke to an NFL Network analyst, and he's saying that the New York Jets are showing some type of level of interest in Julio Jones.
Julio? Yeah, I'm not sure how I...
Who?
Julio who?
Julio Jones.
Who? Are we owls?
Julio.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
All right, boys, I'm on the clock. Hold on. I was hoping you were going to say some bigger name, bro. Julio Jones. So Bijan, Chris Olave, Joe Burrow. Hold on. I got 19 seconds, and then I'll let you roll. I've got Christian Watson available. I've got DJ Moore available. Drake London. I'm probably going to go with Watson. I really like Watson. I love Watson. Look at this team so far. I got Bijan, Chris Olave, Joe Burrow, Christian Watson. I'm feeling pretty good about that. What do you got? You're at the 6th spot. Are you on the clock?
Who, me?
Yeah, Isaac. What do you got?
All right. So I'm at the 6th spot. I got Diggs, Breece, and I went ahead and picked up Nick Chubb at 30.
That's not bad.
Pick.
Third round, I'm okay. Nick Chubb worries me, but third round value, you're packaging the risk that I worry that you're going to need to package in. So I'm okay with that. Nick Chubb went on a holy terror at the beginning of the year. Arguably number 1, 2, 3 running back. I don't even remember how far up he was there, and how long he was in that top 3. But he was scoring 1, 2 touchdowns every game. He didn't score a touchdown on the ground, I think, for the final 6 games. So I'm a little worried about that tailing off, but the yardage was still pretty decent. But I'd just say in a real draft, or this is a real draft, it's his best ball, but in a redraft, I would trade him by week 10. But I in best ball, it's not bad because you don't have to make those decisions, right? Your lineup's set for you. So,
I mean, with Kareem probably being gone, and they got who is it? Who is that shining rookie? Was it Felton? I should know this as a Browns fan. Demetric Felton.
Oh, Felton. Okay, yeah.
I feel like Chubb is in the 3rd round. I mean, he's not going to go to 4, so I'll take him in the 3.
Yeah. Oh, back to Steven. So you had this. You heard from somebody. Where did you get this news, Steven?
This was on Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
I guess they made this report 3 days ago.
Yeah.
I guess some NFL executive was saying that the Jets are interested in Julio Jones. So I mean, I don't really know how credible it is. If
you never
they
know.
Are,
you never know.
I mean,
I guess my question is, who's more relevant, Julio Jones or Sports Illustrated? I don't know. Sports Illustrated's breaking any news these days. But yeah, I mean, hey, could I see a team thinking that Julio's got value left? Sure. Do I care? No. But I'll break it if they sign him, but I don't get a sense that that's real. So many people are trying to make a name right now, you know what I mean? But hey, Steven, keep bringing it, because you know what? You have brought a couple things that were fresh on my mind, or I'd just seen them, and so you're on top of it. I don't want you to think I don't appreciate it. Just Julio. Can you imagine? Odell needs to land there. Odell's not going to stay healthy, I don't think, but it's still a real exciting signing, I guess. Because Odell as a third wide receiver is pretty darn good. You got Lazard, Odell, and Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Aaron Rodgers, top 2 defense in the NFL. Jets are going to be scary.
I agree with that. But I was just going to say, like, if they did bring in Julio Jones, it would just remind people that the Jets are going to be the Jets when they have, like, Garrett Wilson and stuff, and they just have, like, all these, like, good offensive weapons. And it would be like them if they wanted to bring in, like, a Julio Jones, and then all of a sudden if they wanted to sign in Ezekiel Elliott or something like that, and then it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, you guys have, like, these, like, this good, like, youth movement. Like, you finally have, like, something going right, and it seemed like it would just, like, go back to, like, how the way, like, people bring it up, like, oh, that's why the Jets are the Jets if they would make moves like that.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know that I'd judge them too much. Looks like one of our boys, Ryan, just sniped me for Jahmyr Gibbs. Thanks a lot, Ryan. Appreciate that. I'm building a championship team here, Ryan. I'm building a championship team here. Not that you aren't, but I'm building a championship team here. And you just sniped me from potentially taking this thing all the way. Oh, boy, bro. So, I need a RB here. I mean, I hate drafting Dalvin Cook here, but what if he gets traded into a nice spot? And we're talking like, this is like the 6th round almost. I don't know. I hate doing this.
I'm going to ask you, too, where have you seen, like, Ramondre Stevenson fall in, like, drafts? And you think that he's going to be a good value going into like, drafts?
Yeah, I mean,
somebody that you want?
He fell to the bottom of the 4th round, second to last pick right here. Bottom of the 4th round. That's pretty good. I mean, considering he's top 5 to 7 running back material, potentially.
All right.
Taking Burrow.
Well, I mean, good to know, though, because I mean, I guess it depends on if you want to take either Joe Burrow, I guess, or Ramondre Stevenson, then, because I know that you've been saying that Joe Burrow's going to fall in, like, the 4th round.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's a monster. Okay. Mike Evans, George Pickens, or Lamar as a second quarterback? What am I doing here?
Ooh,
that's tough.
Pickens.
Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just get our wide receivers. Hey,
you know what's crazy is Dalvin Cook is so far down. It just doesn't seem like real.
I like him. Taking Burrow unstacked in the 3rd will be tough to win it all. Definitely have to prioritize your next QB with the stack. And why? I understand stacking is good, and it does sometimes make you it is the differential, or it can make you a difference maker. But you don't pass on Joe Burrow because you don't have a stack going on, bro. Like Joe Burrow in the 3rd round, I never heard such blasphemous statement in my life, and I appreciate you, by the way. But taking Joe Burrow in the 3rd round is going to be hard to win. I've never heard. What, bro?
Take it 2 miles.
Yeah, I've seen guys when taking Patrick Mahomes in like the higher rounds. I think it all just depends on how you build your team.
Yeah, there's no tough way to win drafting Joe Burrow in round 3, bro. Stacking's important if it works, and you don't force it though. Like and you don't force not taking the better player because you don't have the stack. Like that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to pass on Burrow and go looking for another quarterback that I'm not stacking with, or am I supposed to go now? I have to take Jordan Love or Kenny Pickett. Like, look at my team, bro. I'm in this 10 spot. What do? Do I have to take Derek Carr now, or I have to take Jordan Love, or I have to take Kenny Pickett? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Stacking is cool, but it technically speaking, you can still win 100,000% without a single stack. You know, it comes down to Are all your players balling out? You know, in some ways, stacking can prevent you, in some context, from going the distance, because what if that team has a bad outing? You know, like diversification is not a horrible thing, but I've just never heard third round Joe Burrow gonna be tough to win. Gonna be tough to win.
No, I think I'm kind of with you though, like trying to take like one of those high-powered like quarterbacks, because there have been like a lot of like analysts that have said like wait on quarterback late, but it's just comes to a matter
they've said that since I've been in the business, bro. They've said that. I fight against that my entire career. 20 plus years, I've been fighting against the wait on a quarterback mentality. Even though we found Joe Burrow and we won leagues because of Joe Burrow in round 6 and 7, you can as well win with Joe Burrow in round 6 and 7. We did it. We did it. Okay, so waiting on Trevor Lawrence in round 6 or 7 could obviously win you a league as well. We're very, very much in tune with that. But when people say don't take a quarterback early, ridiculous. And I say it every year. Yeah. There's 1,000 ways to win.
And I was gonna say, even like going into like last year, if you follow like that strategy like last year, how many guys that went late that weren't even all that good? Like, I'm sure Aaron Rodgers was going late in drafts last year. It wasn't like he did anything for anybody. It was the same thing with like Tom Brady. Tom Brady was going like late, and he didn't pay off. And even I think even like Lamar was like falling off, and he wasn't really doing that much. So like if you got lucky enough that you could even draft like Joe Burrow, I think that you're happy. But if you took like guys that were going late, like Justin Herbert and stuff like that, like you're definitely like kicking yourself, like wishing that you want to take somebody else.
So Craig says Herbert and Burrow stats will be very similar. That's your prediction. I don't predict that. I predict Joe Burrow to throw for about 40 plus touchdowns, probably run for another 5 or 6 touchdowns. This guy's going to have maybe 44 to 45 total touchdowns this year. Better protection. And to your comment here, I love Burrow, but clearly you don't love Burrow as much as me. And that's fine, Craig. That's why we play the game. But I 100,000 disagree with this Burrow versus Herbert. I liked Herbert walking into last year. But this right here, I love Burrow, but I don't want to be up against Burrow plus Chase or Burrow plus Higgins. What would you rather have? Burrow to cancel out some of that, or have no chance at all and have a quarterback that's lesser scoring more? So it's all about, everything's got to line up perfectly anyway. It's not like the stacking has to happen. Like everyone always says that. It's beneficial if it falls that way. But people that force it, it's not like it's advantageous. It's advantageous when it falls perfectly. Like that I agree with.
Yeah. I agree with you too, and with the Burrow going up against like Herbert, to say that they're going to have the same stats. I mean, you have to bank on like something that we haven't seen happen yet, and that's all of Justin Herbert's wide receivers and tight ends, like the team around them staying healthy. Like the guy hasn't had anybody like stay healthy. I mean, we seen it last year when Keenan Allen and Mike Williams were out. He's throwing to like Joshua Palmer and Gerald Everett and all these other guys that are, I mean, they stepped up a little bit, but I mean, it wasn't like you're expecting those guys to like to do something like every week.
Yeah, the thing about it is what I think a lot of people when they think I'm arguing against stacking, which is 100,000% not the case. It's the forcing of the stacking. But if I can get, I mean, you guys have seen me draft Burrow and Chase together over and over and over and over. It's my favorite thing to do. But you can't always do it. Yeah. And I'm not going to avoid Burrow because I couldn't do it. It doesn't make any sense. Because you don't even know that you're going to get, because I was trying to get the Burrow. I'm always trying to get the Burrow and Chase stack. But if I couldn't get that stack, if I pass on Burrow, who's to say I'm going to actually land the other stack target that I have? You know what I mean? So then what am I going to look back later and go, oh, I should have just took Burrow. I didn't end up getting the stack that I wanted on the other end. Like you can't draft like that. If you fall into a stack, it is advantageous for you. 1,000%. I agree. But you can't not take Joe Burrow because you're worried about the fact that you didn't stack it properly. You just have to. It doesn't always fall the way you want it to fall.
And also too, I like some of the stacks that you bring up because not every stacks work. Like I'm sure last year a lot of people tried to stack Derek Carr and and Devontae Adams and stuff, and that didn't work out, or like Kirk Cousins and like Julio Jones. I think it depends on like certain stacks do work, but I want to try to like try to force like a stack.
Is there a super chat? I'm sorry, Harry Crumbs. I'm sorry, bro. Harry Crumbs dropped a super chat. My bad, bro. My bad. Harry Crumbs says, you missed my super last night, bro. I really don't think Lamar can possibly leave Baltimore. The franchise tag is too skewed against players. Appreciate that. Is that what you said yesterday? Real quickly, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Bijan, Dalvin Cook, Zach Charbonnet, Chris Olave, Christian Watson, George Pickens. That's really tough. That's a tough squad.
You have a tight end, Smitty?
Not yet. We'll remedy that very soon. Very soon. And Craig, I appreciate you. I don't mean to go at your comments so hard. We see differently the topic. I appreciate you. Harry Crumbs gifting 10 YouTube exclusive memberships.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Yep. Harry Crumb, my man. Okay, so to address Harry Crumb's, guys, thank Harry Crumb if he gifted you a random. He doesn't get to decide who gets it, and we get some people that complain. You didn't give it to me. It's randomly given out. I don't know that this is entirely accurate. I would say, Harry Crumbs, it's not that you won't end up being right because there's no offer sheets going out, and the spots are getting limited by the minute partly because teams don't want to overpay for Lamar. That's definitely part of it. Part of it could be a small part that a couple GMs are trying to make a statement, but you could easily make a statement by just offering him an offer sheet that does not have guaranteed money in it. You know what I'm saying? Like if teams were trying to band together, I think you could send an even stronger message to be like, here's your value. Here's your value. Here's another offer sheet. Here's your value. None of these, all three of the offers did not have guaranteed money. Now, how do you feel? Like that's, I think, a stronger message than everybody sitting back and we're going to ruin our franchise. I'm a QB poor franchise. And to prove a point, I'm not going to go after Lamar Jackson, who's a former MVP candidate. I do believe, though, that the franchise tag, it is tough. The 2 first rounders is tough for some teams to surrender on top of the big contract. And that's why the Baltimore Ravens did what they did. And it was, you could give them credit, a smart play, because I thought the moment it happened that it was an open season like type of thing. Like he was going to get tons of offer sheets. Problem is he doesn't have an agent. The combination of it all is just falling very, very short for him. And in the back channel options that would be there, even though during that no tamper or that 2-day tamper window, it's not made for franchise tag players, only free agents. There's a lot of agent back channeling that happens. That's why all those trades were announced right away. Like there's been back channeling going, you know what I mean? It's so bottom line is I think Ryan's just taking all my boys. Ryan's sniping everybody left and right. Come on, Ryan. That ain't cool, Ryan. We'll go with Muth. Ron will be happy. I went Freiermuth. That's pretty good tight end considering my situation. You know, I got Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Bijan, Dalvin Cook, Zach Charbonnet, Chris Olave, Christian Watson, George Pickens, and Pat Freiermuth. There you go. If franchise tag player was 2 second rounders, LJ would be throwing balls in Atlanta right now. If the franchise tag was 2 second rounders, of course. But 2 first rounders is not too much to give up. Harry, what's probably going to happen, my guy, is that the teams that are not in play right now will be in play after the draft. So he's going to probably sit tight for a little while. But after the NFL draft, giving up a 2024 and 2025 first rounder is going to seem a lot more plausible and doable and acceptable, and you could get over that as an organization than giving up one of the immediate, we know where our draft slots are, first rounders right now. That's going to be, I think that's where we're at right now. That's why it's such a potential, it's a wait and see thing. Let's go Dalton Schultz. You guys like Dalton Schultz in Houston? I kind of like him in Houston.
I think it depends on the quarter.
Yeah, but rookie leaning on him, I could see it happening. could see it being good. So I took two tight ends back to back because I waited on the tight end position. So I've got Pat Freiermuth and Dalton Schultz at tight end. I got Chris Olave, Watson, and Pickens at wide receiver. I got Bijan, Cook, and Zach Charbonnet, and then Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers. Feeling pretty balanced there. I like it a lot. Craig says, I love your response. Hey, I love your tough, your ability to hang in there, and I know it's not always easy when you bring a challenge to the table because you know it's tough. It's a one-way conversation. It's me giving you my response, and you don't get to defend yourself. So credit to Craig for saying what he said. Love your response. Agree. Don't have to stack a million game scripts. Could win in week 17. Unstacked, you would. You want Burrow to throw 4 TDs to different wide receivers, and that stuff can happen. Not to mention Burrow's running more and more. Like Burrow could run for 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? You just never really know how it's going to work. But again, Craig, to your point, stacking is an unbelievable added bonus that you always are looking for. But just your comment was drafting Burrow in round 3 is going to be tough to win, and it's just like that. Maybe it's the wording too, because that's my boy, you know.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember.
But I do believe that there's no other alternative path for me to score more points and put my team in a better position to win than to have gone Joe Burrow. Because who would I have got a quarterback? Maybe you like Herbert as much. I don't. So there's the difference between us, I suppose. Even though you say you love Burrow, you can't love Burrow as much as I do if you're like literally drooling in the 3rd round. I can't even wait till the 4th round. He's been dropping to 4.1, 4.2, and a lot of times I can't even find myself waiting, you know. Hey, who's on the line? Rock Out, you're on the line. Rock Out, what's up? You didn't say anything. I'm sorry, bro.
What's that?
What's up, pal?
Yeah, I was commenting on the stack concept. I'm like we talked about it has to fall in line with the whole draft, and you were saying about like Josh Allen and Mahomes like 3rd round like the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's funny how the industry's kind of catching up to it, and I know that the arguments are still there. Wait on Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's falling to 4.1, 4.2, 4.3. Why draft Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes at 2.8 or 2.10 when you can get Joe Burrow at 4.2? Why go get a steak dinner for $25.99 when you can get the same exact steak dinner for $19.99? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe I got a couple players I need to queue up.
I don't avoid a player just because you couldn't get the stack.
Yeah, because you don't know if you're getting a stack on the other side. You don't know if you're like, there was no other alternative for me to then not draft Joe Burrow. And again, I would argue against Craig's point. I would also say Craig's right that if you stack, it's an advantage for sure. And I never argued that it wasn't. But I will say that I will argue I'd rather have Joe Burrow and not have Jamar Chase if I face somebody that has Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase to alleviate the opportunity, or to kind of lessen the blow of that combo, right? And keep in mind, I also have other quarterbacks behind Joe Burrow. In this case, I have Aaron Rodgers. So if Joe Burrow does score a massive amount of points, and so does Jamar Chase, maybe Josh Allen or maybe Aaron Rodgers outscores him. Like we don't. That's why you have multiple players. You know, that's why I attack the quarterback position heavy. Let's see here. Who am I taking? You know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna dominate the tight end position. I'm gonna take a Okonkwo. And now I have Pat Freiermuth, Dalton Schultz, and Okonkwo. I think that's a very understated move in best ball because I'm gonna be scoring tons of points at that position. And I think a lot of people say you only need 2 tight ends in best ball. I 1,000% disagree. Some people say you only need 2 quarterbacks. I 1,000% disagree. I think you need 4. I'm going to draft 4 quarterbacks. I'm going to draft 3 tight ends. And I just have to make sure my running backs feel good enough that I can go I could still go 8 wide receivers. Ron Navy, you're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
What's up?
What's up? How was the movie?
The movie was awesome. The new John Wick movie. If you haven't seen it, it's worth going to see. It's awesome.
It looks good. I can't wait.
Yeah.
What's your rating, Ron?
It was kind of a little bit because it was hard for me to sit in the theater and the condition that I'm in with my leg, but I managed.
Yeah, sorry. So was it as good as the other ones? Like, would you call it the best John Wick movie of the what is it, the quad now? There's 4 of them now, right? Was this 4 or 5? Yeah, 4.
Yeah. I think some people said it's the best one, and some people think that they're all pretty fair. You got to make that judgment on yourself on your own. And I'm not going to give no details away. So,
Yeah.
they did one thing. They did mimic something in another movie, but not a John Wick movie, an older movie. But
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
you might see. I mean, you might catch. I caught it because I watch a lot of the older movies, but yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, agree with what you said, Smitty. Late QB sucks. It's just proven the elite QBs have huge value now, and in best ball, whoever has a top 3 QB has had a huge edge and justify the early ADP this year. I agree, especially in best ball too. But I think that planning my team around this approach right here, I really believe that a winner, you have a real strong chance of winning this if you've got 3 or 4 really strong quarterbacks and you have at least 3 strong tight ends. Just because it's such a
still later on.
You what?
With Boyd, if you could have still stacked Burrow later on with Boyd.
Yeah.
Because you could get Boyd, but you don't need to stack a single quarterback. I went naked Hurts a lot, naked Allen a lot. So there's nothing wrong with going with a naked elite quarterback, but when I do that, I do stack other items. Like you still got to stack. You got the Pickens Freiermuth stack.
Yeah, I do it where I can.
Stack the mean quarterback. You could stack receivers, running backs together. You could stack. There's different types of stacks that you can do.
Yeah. Okay, so
and the thing about this one is we don't know where all these rookies are going yet, and we don't know, and it makes a difference. Like when we play the Best Ball Mania, right? The main one, we already know what the schedule is. We already know, what weeks, who's playing who, and we know all that information. We know where all the rookies are at. We know all that information. Here, you don't know all that information, so you kind of just got to go with gut on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Isaac, how's your team looking?
Pretty good. Let me go over with you real quick. Hey, by the way, was Rockout the one who fell asleep on air like months ago?
Wait, what?
What? Who was it that fell asleep?
Oh, Rockout. Yeah, he's on the line right now.
Dude, that's me. That's me, Rockout, man. I'm sick right now.
Well, it hasn't happened since.
All right, hit us with your
I'm
team.
about to be the new Rockout.
Hit us with your team real quick before you fall asleep.
All right. Diggs, Bijan, Nick Chubb, Mark Andrews, Pickens, Dalvin Cook, Elijah Moore, Alvin Kamara, Zay Jones, Rashad Penny, OBJ, Anthony Richardson, Matt Stafford.
Like it, bro. You did a good job.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, don't fall asleep at the end and screw it up, though.
I'm about to grab Greg Dulcich from Denver because I feel like they'll be better this year as my third tight end.
You know what I'm also about to do if Ryan doesn't snipe me? Because he's been sniping me the whole time. He took Taysom Hill. That was something I would consider if I didn't already have my third tight end, so that's okay. But I'm thinking about taking Shaheed here. I like doing that wide receiver cuff situation. I think he's a good wide receiver too. I think Shaheed's a good wide receiver. So to have him and Olave together is kind of cool because if one was to go down, the other one's going to get more volume. So I'm going to grab him there.
I like it. Man, Zeke's going so late, man.
Well, I mean, he's technically not on a team.
Yeah, but that's going to change. His ADP right now is 150.1. That's insane.
But is he going to be even remotely close to starter, volume? I don't think he will.
I mean, what if he goes to the Bengals, though? I think that changes everything.
Maybe. You never know, but I don't think he's got it in him to stay healthy or produce, though. Mix...
Cardinal.
You what? Yeah, Cardinals. Ron's probably right, because we literally take... That's what we do. That's what the Cardinals do.
History, man.
It wouldn't shock me at all. We always take guys that are at the end of their career.
I got 6 picks left. Let's see if I can stay awake for this.
Where are you at?
I'm in South Carolina, so it's 1:26 a.m.
It's a Friday. How old are you?
I'm 38 with 3 kids, man. 8, 4, and 1.
Ron, that is 38 with 3 kids is basically just like we always say. That's that puts you at like 48 years old. Once your kids leave, I'm sure you'll drop down a few years. He's got the energy of us.
I'm up constantly at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
He's gonna have.
Come on, Ron.
3 kids, 38. He's got the energy of an 80-year-old at this point. He's got to wait till they get a little older.
Man.
And don't let Ron fool you. He probably fell asleep during some of the movie.
Yeah.
Wait. Let me do my rock out impression.
If anybody missed it, Rockout fell asleep during like almost a 40-minute part of the show.
Just kidding. I'm
Just
still up.
just snoozing away.
That was a classic segment.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rock. He can't talk about not falling asleep.
Rockout, did you go back and re-listen to that?
Yeah, I saw that the next day.
Did it make you fall asleep when you watched it again? Watched it back?
No.
AJ Lancaster says,
hilarious though.
If Zeke outscores Rojo, I will eat my hat on the stream. That's good. Let's hold him to that, by the way. And then AJ says, knife and fork, plenty of butter. I really, really would love to see that. The one reason why I think you could lose that bet is because Rojo, I don't know, I feel like Rojo is any better than the old Zeke, though. Is that what he said, Rojo, right? Ronald Jones? I don't know, man.
Rojo.
I think I would have been okay if you said something like, if Zeke's top 15 running back or 18 running back, I'll eat my hat, and we would have been like, good one. But Rojo, I don't know.
Yeah.
About the same as Julio.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Who?
Noah E. Why are all Noahs negative? Noah, it's okay. Like, this is your first. I don't even know
Negative
if you have.
Noah.
It is. It's always negative Noah. JT's a bust. But this is a different Noah. I'm just looking at the name Noah. And like we have 2 Noahs that are just Debbie Downers, man.
They know it all.
They know it all. Is true. I was just about to say they're both garbage, says Trez. Who are we talking about? Rojo and Rojo. I don't think Rojo has a good year at all. I think Zeke outscores Rojo probably. I'll eat his hat. He can mail it to me. No, I'm not making that bet. Okay, I need a wide receiver. Slayton's not bad, but now that he's back in New York, I don't mind Slayton. I'm going to take Slayton. Do you guys like Shakir or Slayton better? kind of like Shakir a lot, but
Yeah.
Hear a
There's
lot
some
more.
stuff going on in Buffalo. It seems so crowded.
I'm gonna go Slayton.
I think
I don't even know that I have the right wide receivers queued. Okay, so Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, Bijan, Dalvin Cook, Zach Charbonnet, Sean Tucker, Olave, Christian Watson, George Pickens, Rashid Shaheed, Darius Slayton, Pat Fryermuth, Dalton Schultz, Okonkwo. Feeling pretty good about the squad. I need a wide receiver. Do I go Tim Patrick? That was Ron's boy. Robert Woods. Tyquan Thornton.
yeah. Tim Patrick. I don't know. I think he's gonna have a big year this year. As long as he's healthy, I think he's. Something just tells me he's a great round pick. Where you get him at,
Yeah, we'll
there's
go.
no risk to.
Yeah, and I think they do potentially trade away Judy or cut Cortland Sutton. I don't know if there's a market for Sutton as much as Judy, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Sutton's older.
How do you guys feel about the
Sure.
the topic of the show? JT. JT went at 1.12. Jonathan Taylor. Does anybody feel like he's gonna bust like Noah said? Which is fine, Noah. It's okay to have a negative opinion. We just were I'm just laughing because every Noah is like constantly. So just seeing a new name Noah and it's like it's a bust. Does anybody feel like JT's gonna bust at number 11, 12? I kind of feel like there's a risk of it for sure, but does he have an equal amount of, if not more, upside from 11, 12? Because he could arguably be the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tight running back. Like, does anybody think it's impossible for him to be RB1? Like, I don't think so. I mean,
With the offensive line he's got, it'd be really, really hard.
what's more likely, Ron, that or your Justin Jefferson 2,400 yard season?
Probably my Justin Jefferson 24.
We're leaving the show. If anybody missed it, we're leaving the show last night, and we're making bold predictions. And Ron just out of nowhere is like, JJ, 2,400 yards.
2,400. Mr.
Well,
Bold.
what's more likely, McCaffrey making it injury-free for the whole year, or JT making it injury-free-ish?
JT's more
And
likely.
also, who's the quarterback going to be for the Colts, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. McCaffrey.
Right now it's Mendoza.
Yeah,
That's very relevant. So JT could end up number one, but if the quarterback play is not great and the whole team just sucks, I feel like he's at risk for a higher injury because they're going to be running him to the ground.
yeah, McCaffrey's injury prone too. I know he maybe shook that label loose a little bit last year, but I mean, the Niners just.
Not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm still fearful. I think JT didn't have one of those injuries. He had an injury that's gonna gonna hamper you all year. I mean, Adams had a high ankle one time, and you remember a couple years ago, that was when Aaron Jones, I think, had the 17 touchdown season or whatever it was. You have those ankle sprains, and sometimes you can never come back from it that year. But the next year, you're fine. JT doesn't feel like an injury-prone guy to me. I feel like he just had a really bad high ankle, kept trying to come back too early. We wanted him to rush back, and it was a bad thing to wish for. So I don't know that I feel like JT's very injury-prone yet. I don't get that vibe yet.
There was just such pressure on JT to be top 5, but he had that high ankle sprain that just changed the whole game.
Lancaster, the hat man that's going to eat his hat live on the show, dropped a $10 hauler
To the moon.
moonshot to you, pal. Appreciate you very, very much. Harry Crumb's dropped another $2 hauler. So let me get back to my screen that I was on. Where was that? So Lancaster, I'm gonna have the system read it. So hang tight, guys. Just remain quiet for just 1 second. Let's go ahead and have this read off while I try and.
AJ Lancaster Superch of $9.99 from AJ Lancaster. JT had one injury year from his entire high school career until now. He's had time to recover. He's a higher ADP value version of where we got Saquon last year.
I agree with everything Lancaster just said, and that's not because he just dropped a $10 hauler. I agree with him anyway. I that's exactly what I was saying, and I agree with it. I feel like, the more I even talk it out in this live stream, and this is what I love about focusing on one player per. We talk about a lot of stuff, but I just mean like the focal point of this video is going to be we do a draft and we're hitting one player and his ADP and his value and his risk in a live stream. And it's really cool because when we look back on the draft, we'll know what this draft was about. It's kind of nice. But I'm really glad we did this one because I'm feeling more and more like I feel like I'm valuing JT more. Travis, if I missed your call, dial in again. I might have missed it. I'm not sure. Nope, there he is. Travis, I got you on live here. I feel like I'm much more willing to draft JT at like 12 now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, with Minshew's there, I think he can hold it down all right. And I mean, they'll probably draft someone, but if you have Minshew and then they still have Pittman, and I think people are kind of low on Alec Pierce. He had a decent rookie year. He wasn't terrible.
Well, I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna be a big player for Lamar. I think they really will.
Well, and then if Lamar goes there, then definitely I'd take him in the first round like that. But I mean, even as it stands, I still feel all right taking him at the back of the first round.
At 12 over Breece Hall and Walker, really?
Would I take JT over? I'm not saying that, Ron, but I'm saying like in best ball we're diversifying a little bit here and there, right? So am I gonna do I take, like, you saw this draft? My goal was to draft JT. I didn't. I took Bijan. So if Bijan's there, I'm taking Bijan. But JT at that 12-13 pick, I don't mind it. I think I do want to try it out in a draft or two. And I'm not saying I'd necessarily like him over Breece Hall and Walker, but I'm gonna have so many shares of Breece Hall and Walker at their appropriate ADP. I don't know. I think
the time's turn, man. Don't forget that JT is still JT. I mean, he's young. He led the league 2 years ago. I mean, it's not far off to say that I'd draft JT over Walker.
Right.
But Breece is tough. I mean, the injury is relevant, but he's looking obviously good. We've heard that he's recovering fast. That's a tough one, man. They're all right there amongst each other.
Yeah, I think Ron, I do want a league, like even if it's not best ball, I do want a league where I own them, and if I have to take them ahead of Walker and Breece, keep in mind that if it's in a regular draft and not best ball, I'm probably trading as well. I'm probably trying to get up in the draft to draft Breece or Walker with them. I don't know. I think it's.
I don't know. Like if you go Bijan in the first round, JT. I mean, to me, I'm looking at the receivers and at that 12 at that turn spot there. There's still Garrett Wilson. There's still those receivers right there. And I know Najee's down in the 4th and 5th round. Then I can always pick him up. And I think Najee's going to finish higher than JT this year anyways.
Yeah, well, you're down on JT, which is understandable. I don't disagree with it. There's reason to be. But I think you're speaking from a perspective of not being high on JT. So it sounds a lot more.
Well, no. I don't like him that high. I mean, if he was if I could get,
that's what I'm saying,
like in the 3rd round, oh, okay, that's the thing, but not in the 2nd.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Definitely not.
You definitely aren't high on JT, so it's gonna feel real uncomfortable for you to take him. But I think some of us are higher on him than you are, which is not right or wrong. We don't know. But I think JT is definitely worth a 12 or 13 overall pick. I really do. And the more we're talking about it tonight, the more I'm feeling that way. To be honest, like, he's not that injury prone. Like, we don't know that he could be, but we have no evidence, in my opinion, to suggest that he's an injury prone guy. He never had injuries, like Lancaster said.
Yeah.
I kind of like
think about it. I mean,
thrown or not. It's just that the Colts are a hot mess. Their offensive line just like was not very good, and they haven't really made that many.
You can build a line.
You can build a line, but in the process, they haven't really done anything. I haven't seen them do anything to improve their line this year. In free agency, they only got so many draft picks, so and they're hurting for a quarterback. So where do you go? You gotta nail down your quarterback first, so you get that quarterback, and who are you going to get for the line? You got to wait.
You can draft linemen in the second, third, fourth rounds and sign a couple guys and coach them up. It's not going to be a perfect situation, but plenty of really talented running backs have had good years behind like mediocre lines. Like even like the Titans didn't have like a fantastic line, but a guy like Derrick Henry makes up for those faults in the line too. So you kind of have to weigh it out. I mean, I get what you're saying. I understand why you might be low on him, but
not there's definitely a quarterback. A good backup quarterback. That's all he is. He's a good backup quarterback. And you've had all those other quarterbacks in Indy that have failed. So
you're low on Minshew too. I don't think he's a stud, but I think he can get you through a year. I mean,
no, he's a good backup.
He's a tweener.
But I mean, all these other quarterbacks that they've gotten, they were like, maybe older, but they were still elite quarterbacks at one point. They haven't been able to get them through. I mean, you had Rivers, you had, they just went through a carousel of quarterback. And
look at Cleveland. Brissett might even be a little better than Minshew, and their line might be better too. I get all that, but Brissett is one of these, backup / he could start in the league, but you're probably not going to win a ton with him. And Nick Chubb does fine with him. Now, maybe you think Chubb is way better than JT. I don't necessarily, but I'm just saying there's definitely paths for him to give you that value at that spot.
Yeah, I like him at 12, 13, 14. I'm definitely, if I'm ranking, like let's say I'm in one draft, I'm drafting one time. I get one draft, that's it. That's all. Let's say I'm controlled by the missus, and she's like, you get one draft, and I'm drafting in one draft. I'm drafting Bijan over Brees and Walker. I'm drafting Brees and Walker over JT, and there's a pecking order. But I do so many leagues, right. I like to diversify, and I'm really comfortable with JT being in one of those situations. This is my last pick here. Oh man. Go Deuce Vaughn. What?
Take a shot on Ford Wheaton.
Already got my wide receiver room. I took Deuce Vaughn. So I've got Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy. I don't believe Shanahan's going to give Trey a fair shot, and he's my fourth quarterback. So it's fine.
Brock Purdy. This is how messed up shit. Did you know last year the 49ers called up Big Ben to see if he would come out of retirement to play for them?
Yeah,
wasn't that before Purdy was took off though?
Yeah, but they clearly didn't have faith in Purdy enough.
Yeah,
if they're gonna
so crazy.
Yeah,
Ben's arm is like, I mean. Any quarterback coming out, even Cam Newton comes out and he goes and throws at a pro day. Ben could come out and throw at a pro day. All these retired quarterbacks come out and throw at pro days, and they look really good. You get them 2 or 3 games, you think their bodies ain't going to remember, and they're not going to be hurting units, and they're not going to revert back to their old age playing ways? Of course they are.
Noodle on.
All right, real quickly. Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Bijan, Dalvin Cook, Zach Charbonnet, Sean Tucker, Deuce Vaughn, Chris Olave, Christian Watson, George Pickens, Shaheed, Slayton, Tim Patrick, McKenzie, Nathaniel Dell, Tank Dell. He's like a guy I love taking at the end of the very, very final pick or second to last pick. I just think Tank Dell is kind of small, but Nathaniel, a.k.a. Tank Dell, a very, very smooth player. I love them. Fryermuth, Dalton Schultz, and Okonkwo. Not bad.
To the moon.
I like that.
Not bad.
I think Ron's right about Tim Patrick, too. I think Tim Patrick could be pretty good this year.
Yeah, he could be pretty good. All right, I'm going to create a private draft. I always do this at the end. This won't include the jersey contest yet, though, just so everybody knows. This will be a $5 draft. We're going to do a slow draft.
Another one of those. The one we're currently in is killing me.
Yeah, I need to check. I keep timing
We're
out.
only second round.
I know, I keep timing
Going
out.
into
I'm going to drop that link right now. If anybody wants to be in this private league, it'll go the distance. We'll all be playing together. So if you want to be in a private draft with me, you want to dominate me because I'm going to time out. Jump in and say, I beat Smitty to pieces. Because I'm probably going to time out on 3 or 4 of the picks. I'm doing so many of these. But they're still fun. And I'm still going to have a good time with you guys. So here, let me drop this link real quickly. And then anybody wants to join it, you can jump in. Here's the link.
There's an opportunity to snipe Smitty with taking some of his picks.
Mm-hmm. You want to snipe me? You want to work me over? I'm going to time out 2 or 3, 4 times. Here's the link. Private draft. There are, so let me put private league. Where is it?
I'd rather snipe Smitty live.
Private league. Okay, there it is. Jump in. Let me see if I can pin this. All right, anybody wants to jump in to a private league? There you go. I'll pull it up and we'll plug it in. That way people can see if they made it in. So far, we got Ryan in there.
Hey.
Of course, Ryan's gonna snipe me. Got Travis in there. It's filling quickly. 7 more to start. Let me go back out real quickly and go to my active tab and let me see. I'm on the clock in this draft. What is this, second round? What do I have so far? I got Christian McCaffrey. This is one of our other private drafts. I'm on the clock. Jalen Hurts. God, we're at 2.10. We're at 2.10. And look at all the snipage across the board. Olave's gone. Walker's gone. Brees Hall's gone. JT's gone. JT fell to 20. Almost got JT. See, JT fell so far because he hasn't been a guy we talked about much on the show. So everybody else got sniped ahead, and JT just got pushed down. He almost fell to my pick. I don't know who to pick at this point. I like Hurts a lot. I've got McCaffrey. T. Higgins. I'll probably go...
Best player available. Who is that?
It's a good question because these wide receivers got thin quick. I like Waddle a lot, but I don't know if I feel like he's the best player available. Derrick Henry's there, but he's more of a third round player for me.
Who do you have so far?
Tony Pollard I got Christian McCaffrey only, so I definitely need a wide receiver.
Oh, okay.
Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Tony Pollard, Travis Etienne, all available. Ramondre Stevenson. Quarterback, there's Hurts, there's Fields, there's Burrow.
Kind of like Hurts. Hurts gets
All right, just got in.
Come back.
Surprised you haven't taken Travis.
I don't know if I like that.
Here's a funny fact. Here's a funny fact about DJ Moore because the chat was talking about him. DJ Moore has more receiving yards than any Chicago wide receiver in their whole history. Believe it or not.
What did you just say? Who? What?
DJ Moore has more receiving yards than any receiver in Chicago Bears history.
Yeah, he's such a quietly productive guy too. You know what's weird is I doubt Shanahan I doubt those Niners staying healthy. But like for some reason, when I'm looking at this, like Debo is still a decent like wide receiver to grab. But I don't know that I want him in the second round. I almost want to go Hurts and Debo in the third thing, force like. And not saying I'm forcing Waddle. I like Waddle a lot. I guess part of me struggles with that he's the second wide receiver. It's a really high octane offense, and you know the same thing I struggle with Higgins though. I just struggle. Whatever it is. Maybe it's mostly mental. Maybe it's bias. Whatever. I struggle for my number one wide receiver to be the second wide receiver on his team. I just can't. I can't stand to draft my number one wide receiver as a guy that's not even the number one on his team. It just bothers me.
I never get Higgins for that reason.
So I kind of want to go Jalen Hurts here, even though maybe Fields or Burrow falls to my next pick, but I just grab Debo. Like Christian McCaffrey, Debo, stack that up, and then get Jalen Hurts. I kind of like it.
Or take Higgins and wait for Burrow to come around and attack him.
Yeah, but again,
you run the risk of losing two QBs off the board, right?
Somebody will
before you pick again.
Somebody will see you grab Higgins and say, "Oh, Smitty's after Burrow," and just
Burrow. I took Jalen Hurts. I'd rather have Debo and Hurts than have Waddle and miss the quarterback. To be honest, and I know a lot of people probably think Waddle's great. What are you talking about? Waddle's amazing, and I get that. I feel like Waddle's like if I already had, let's say, Garrett Wilson, and I was drafting at the top of round 3 or something. Let's say Jamar Chase. So that would make sense draft pick wise. So I got number 2 or 3 overall. I get Jamar Chase, and let's say I go, Burrow and Higgins there. Chase, Burrow, Higgins, or let's just say I go Breece Hall. So Chase, Breece Hall, and then Waddle or something. I'm okay with that, but I don't know.
Out of those receivers that are showing right there on the thing, I like Metcalf better out of all 4 of those.
And I like
Metcalf.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's why I want to go with my wide receiver in round 3 and just grab Hurts. Because right now, this right here is a stack. And I know it's not a true stack. I'm just saying, like that's a beast of a combo right there. Hurts and McCaffrey. There's a lot of points being scored by Hurts and McCaffrey.
Yeah. You have potentially the number 1 at each position.
Yeah,
potentially, but top 3 either way. Probably.
The private draft that I dropped the link to, we filled it really quickly. We're already at pick number. Oh no, this is a different draft. Never mind.
No, we got 4 more left.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Got 4 more.
Yeah, so if anybody wants in this league right here, it's a slow draft, 8-hour timer. Hey Ron, as long as these slow drafts, like if you do an underdog slow draft, have you done a lot of underdog big board slow drafts, or you only do the 30-second?
The single one.
I'm sure that like they'll let you finish the draft, but what happens if you're in a draft and it's taken forever and the season begins? Like, I don't know if you ever ran up against that, or if anybody ran up against that, or if they maybe stop them well in advance. I don't know.
Well, they'll stop offering. They got it worked out to where every 8 hours, so there's enough time to get through all 20 rounds.
And they just
at the
stop
point
it.
where it's not going to be enough time to get through. If everybody uses their max time, they'll cut off the option of going the slow draft.
Gotcha.
And it'll just be 30 seconds.
I wondered about that.
So are you talking like if it gets to be like the season's going to start?
Yeah, because they do these all the way up to like the beginning of the year, and I was just wondering if you got into a slow draft, and Ron's right, they probably make sure mathematically it'll be done. But yeah, so JT, kind of a differing opinion, and it's understandable because JT had a really bad year last year. Understandable that there's some different opinions rolling around, but I really do feel like tonight, and I don't know why, it wasn't like anything really it happened other than we talked it out, and visually I looked at JT, visually I contemplated him. I didn't take him because at 10 I took Bijan, and I don't care how many times I drop Bijan, I'm probably just going to scoop him up at 10 no matter what. 10, 11, 12, anywhere in there. And that might be my ride or die this year. And if, let's say, he got hurt and suffered, God forbid, knock on wood here, some sort of season-ending injury, yeah, I'm going to tank in a lot of leagues. And I did that with Breece Hall last year. But you know what? I don't regret it at all. Because if Breece had stayed healthy, I was fine with rotting and dying on that. I felt like that was one of the best predictions we've had on the show for the 4 years that I've been on YouTube. Been doing this 20 years professionally, but on YouTube, the show, the fantasy football show, was up for 4 years. I felt like it was the best prediction. It was the best ride or die we had, and I don't regret a single moment of it. But I feel like Bijan
is you had us drafting. Remember? Yeah, we did Breece Hall, and then we get Walker down in the 9th and 10th round, and we drafted all those great running backs in Javonte, and we stacked him in ETN, but we had enough depth because of how we were drafting and the mock drafting and how you evaluated these players. Even when we lost Javonte and Breece Hall, we still had good running backs to back up on, because we drafted that way.
Yeah, definitely had the right combination. We got TMT dropping a what? Oh, God. I'm knocking stuff all over the place. We got TMT dropping a wad on screen here. TMT, $20 hauler. Best fantasy show on the planet. Let's make it rain. Let's do it, TMT. Let's do it live. All right. This time we're going to have Ron Navy count. I want you, Ron, when I say go, I want you to go 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. And we'll see how long it takes to drain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Let's go more. Let's go 20. Let's go 20. Let's go 30 bills. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 bills. This is about 30 bills per second. Jimmy rigged rain machine. My brother soldered a battery to it, replaced the motor, because I bought this thing off Amazon and it was just shooting it's like a pea shooter. It was what we thought Tua Tagovailoa was going to throw like. And did this thing ever crap out on me? But my brother came and saved the day, just like TMT is saving the night, dropping a $20 hauler. All right, Ron Navy, I want you to count out loud. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Stop.
1, 2, 1,002.
No, yeah, I think you were. I think the buzzer had sounded well before you.
I got to 1,000. Probably like 4.
Oh no, it was like I thought I heard him start after I was like stop. He's like 1,000.
I think. Yeah, he had a slow start there. I think.
That might have been 4 or 5.
And the battery is maybe even dying. It seems even a little bit slower. Like when I listen to the RPMs on this thing, it seems like it's about 50% what it was. So the battery's draining. Next thing is to hook up a car battery to it potentially.
Car battery.
Hey, Smitty.
Yeah.
Don't blow that thing up.
I just found it says for those slow drafts, it says 2 weeks ahead of the cutoff time, it goes down to 4 hours. 1 week before, it goes down to 1 hour. On the day of the cutoff, it'll be 10 minutes per pick, and then 2 hours ahead of the cutoff, it drops to 60 seconds.
Okay.
So
there you go.
I knew they had to
Clock out on you.
Appreciate that. Okay.
I know with what was it? It was the little board draft.
Thank you, TMT.
They went to totally long draft and did away with the 30-second draft.
All right, I'm up.
We're getting close to 6 mil.
Okay, so we have 8 spots out of the private league. Again, the link is in the live chat. Join. We need
Your last 4
more to go. I'm supposedly up in another draft here. This is a 12-person slow draft. It's the 3rd round. My team so far is Hurts and McCaffrey. This is the same team. I'm back on the clock.
Man.
So it looks like we got guys in here. Who is up? Ryan was up. Then Detest. Okay. And Ryan. So Ryan and Detest in the live chat right now. They drafted already. This is a previous league. So we got him live in here. So now I got, who did they draft? They probably sniped me. Waddle. Okay. I don't blame Waddle. So Burrow. There we go. Burrow went. Fields went. Burrow and Fields just both went. I would not have gotten a quarterback. We knew that they were going to snipe. We knew it. Waddle, Henry. Now I'm back on the clock. I could still get T. Higgins. I mean, I technically could have went Burrow and got T. Higgins here, but I'm fine with this. Do I go Devontae Smith? I also, it's the same dilemma, though. It's the same dilemma. I don't want my number one wide receiver to be
number 2.
I kind of feel like
Metcalf.
I like Metcalf here, but I kind of also like Debo, and I got Christian McCaffrey. I don't know. Debo scares me though.
Do you have any Metcalf?
I mean, look at Debo's numbers last year. Awful. 56 receptions. Like, just to keep it in mind, the previous year, and now granted he had a lot of rushing, right? Debo had in 2021 he had 8 touchdowns and 365. However, Debo still had 232 rushing in 2022. So it's not like he had that much less rushing yards. It was a significant amount, but 232 and 365 are not that far apart. So it's not like he, I mean, I know he got banged up a little bit and all that, but 8 touchdowns on the ground versus 3, 6 touchdowns through the air versus 2, and he had 632 receiving. That was an awful season by Debo. I don't know if I can take him, but I like Devontae Smith so much. If like I said in my ADP video, if AJ Brown misses some time with knee issues and all that, Devontae Smith's gonna explode.
I think it's kind of that's kind of a different situation because Devontae is just all over the field in that offense.
Man, I don't know what to do here. What do you guys think in the chat? Do I go Devontae Smith, T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, Debo Samuel? There's Hopkins. There's Ridley. You know what's crazy?
I like.
You know,
2 more.
You know what's crazy? I know I can't draft him here. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but I know it's not. I don't want to promote this. But I like Watson better than all of them. I know I can't draft that way, but I'm just telling you, I believe in Christian Watson more than all those guys. I just do. But DK's pretty good value here. DK 2022, he had 10 48 and 6. 90 receptions.
What are you gonna do when the year starts and Devontae Smith goes off and you're sitting there with Hurts and you could have had the double?
Well, considering this is a private draft and there's like $56 on the line, I won't be too mad. if it was the best ball mania, or then yeah, it'd be a little different story. These ones we're doing right now are not going to be included in the jersey giveaway. We have a signed Garrett Wilson jersey that will be given away as soon as I announce that we're starting the collection of all the draft links. So once I start that, it might be after the draft the NFL draft that we start that, and it'll probably be all like either the mittens or the $5 or $10 manias or whatever they are. Oh no, actually we're not.
Well,
no. We're gonna do private drafts for those. Never mind. We're doing private drafts for those.
As toward your intern show, you need Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
I want DK.
Yeah. Are you in this draft?
You need Devontae. Yeah, I'm like 4 picks after you.
Oh. You already gave me the
first pick.
I'm the one that took Olave.
You already gave me the DK advice.
Better watch out. He's probably trying to give you advice so that way you don't
That
take
was
some of the guys.
that was a pick ago.
Man, look at
That was a pick earlier.
Devontae Smith's numbers, man. 1196, 7 TDs, 95 receptions. You know what?
He's a 100 reception guy. I mean, even with AJ Brown.
God, I want to pick him here. I might pick him.
And if AJ Brown, like his knees or something messes up, that's more more targets for Deontay.
We're just gonna do it. We're gonna stack it. I love Devontae Smith. I had a video that said Devontae Smith would be a top 5 wide receiver before, and I got ripped apart on that video. And it's even on Instagram. I have it on YouTube and Instagram. And there, even after his rookie year, there were so many comments that were like, "This aged well. This aged like milk, spoiled milk. What a great call. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about." And I'll admit, after his rookie year, I was a little let down by the whole Devontae Smith project. But man, did he step up. There was a little delay, just a baby delay. Not everybody shines their first year. Doesn't mean they're bad receivers or whatever, but he was, what is he, number 6 last year? I mean, AJ Brown, wasn't he 6 or 7? He was like number 6 or 7, depending on the scoring. But like, he just snuck into that top 6, man. He's such a good wide receiver. He was so great in college. I really think he's got that potential to be hovering around that same territory every year. Not every year he'll rotate, but I don't know. I really like Devontae Smith a lot. I just think AJ Brown I love, but you know what's weird about AJ Brown? Let's look at AJ Brown's. I don't know if I can pull it up here. Let me go to this. This draft I can. So if we go to AJ Brown, look at AJ Brown's stats, man. This is insane. 2021, 63 receptions, 869, 5 TDs. 2022, 88 receptions, 1496 and 11. Can you imagine if this guy got remember Cooper Kupp's Triple Crown year? He had like 140 receptions for, what was it, 1,700. How many TDs did, that's right here. Hold on, let me look. So Cooper Kupp, 1947. 145 receptions, 1947 and 16 TDs. That efficiency is crazy too, but look at AJ Brown. He's always so efficient. 1496 and 11 off of 88 receptions. Can you imagine if he almost doubled his receptions? This would be Ron's 2,400 yard season.
Yeah.
I mean, 1496 off 88 receptions. Imagine if AJ Brown got 120 receptions. It's crazy. He's so efficient. But that's also like the scary part about him, because if he doesn't have that efficient year, is he really going to have, the stats? It's tough. That's crazy.
Well, Smith only got nine less targets than AJ Brown last year, so they were pretty even targets. Yeah,
guys, we need 2 more. The link's pinned in the live chat. It's a slow draft. It's not the one for all the big money. It's going to be it's a $5 draft. First place gets $32, but it's just a fun little draft to do together. We're going to do these, and we're going to do. I might even do $1 or $2 drafts for the jersey, so that the prize money will be next to nothing. But every time we do a jersey draft, the winner of all the drafts that we do, it'll be after the NFL draft. We'll do a bunch of private drafts. The winner of these $1 and $2 drafts, the winner of the entire thing, whoever scores the most points through week 14 regular season, will win the autographed Garrett Wilson jersey. And we might have more prizes too. I'm sorry, what were you going to say, bro?
I was just going to say, I think Adam might be jumping in. So we might only need one more person for this thing to start.
One more person.
Okay, one more person. Let me, who else is on the phone that hasn't talked in a while? Steven, are you still there, Steven? Are you asleep?
No, I'm still here. Just listening to you guys communicate right now.
Travis, have you talked recently? Sometimes I can't tell who's talking.
Yeah, I've been talking probably too much. Me and Ron have been talking too much.
Steven, go ahead. That's the quietest you've been in your life.
No, I was just gonna tell you, what do you think about how the Ravens are really showing that they don't want to bring back Lamar by signing on Nelson Aguilar?
Are you meaning that they don't want to bring in good receivers? Like is that a knock on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like what you talked about is that they don't really want to surround the guy with weapons, and how you talked about last night. I remember when you were bringing up the DeAndre Hopkins stuff, and they're like, oh, maybe the Ravens could go after him, but there's like no reports. They just seem like they want to stick to the same formula that they've been doing for like a while, is just bringing in like these like retread guys. Like first it started with like Des Bryant, now it's like Nelson Aguilar, and then it's like Sammy Watkins. It just seems like they just want to keep bringing in like these cheap like veteran guys.
Yeah, and on top of that, bro, it's like you think about the fact that they have this 22 overall draft pick, and the odds of them using this 22 overall pick on a Zay Flowers or Quentin Johnston, if Quentin Johnston's there, it's almost like a slim to none type of situation, you know?
Yeah, and think about it too, right? Like how everybody like say if they did get like those 2 first rounders and they're like high like first rounders, and everybody's like saying that maybe they draft like a quarterback or even like a top like running back or like receiver or something. It seems like no matter like what they do, they'd probably like just like go like somewhere different than everybody's is expecting, even if they did get like those top picks.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Well,
yeah. If they got Hopkins and drafted a guy, they'd actually have a decent room too, because if they did some 2 tight end stuff with Likely and Andrews, and I mean their running backs are always okay. I don't get what they're doing.
Hey,
no, that's the thing that they're doing either, because they made it seem like they're gonna get away from their scheme, and then they got this like Todd Monken guy, and made it seem like they're gonna be like a pass first offense, but it doesn't really look like it when they're bringing in like that guys.
Hey, so Ada said that he missed the live stream because he didn't get a notification. YouTube's gonna throttle back notifications based on, there's a couple of different factors. How many notifications you've received yourself on the day, because they don't want, they're making a snap judgment that you are a normal person. You guys are, no offense, but none of you are normal people. You guys are guys and girls that want to consume a live stream whenever there's breaking news, and that's usually not the case for somebody. Normal people don't want to watch 5 or 6 different live streams in a day on breaking news, so they don't understand that. So YouTube, if you're let's say you subscribe to like 47 channels and you're getting what would be like 45 notifications, they're going to throttle those back, probably prioritize based on what they think you might like, but they're not going to give them all to you. And if I go live like 4 times in one day, they'll probably send out 1 or 2 of those notifications to everybody. So it kind of sucks, but here's the solution. This is my Instagram channel notification chat, and it's a one-way conversation between me and everybody that's following, and you can't see everybody in it, but you can emoji react to anything that I post, but you can't type. So in this Instagram channel, I say going live right now, and then everybody will just heart it, thumb up it, put a cucumber emoji, whatever you want to do, however you want to respond. You can do an emoji reaction, but you can't type.
Yeah, that's not working out so hot, because you didn't post nothing tonight.
I did too.
I didn't get no YouTube, and I didn't get nothing on your
IG. I put it in there. Go look at the Going Live channel right now.
Yeah, the IG isn't working for me.
Well, you probably got to turn on notifications for it. So you got to hit.
No, there's nothing. I got nothing.
It's sitting right there. I'm looking at it right now. Live draft with Smitty posted. Smitty going live posted. Go into your channels, Ron. Click on in Instagram, and guys, I've dropped that link. I'm gonna pin it right now on Instagram.
The last I have was yesterday. You sent one about live draft.
So in your DMs, there's primary, general, and channels.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Okay,
but I'm not
so
getting...
so if you go to channels and you select the one that says Smitty Going Live channel with the TV in the red circle, and you click on that, you're telling me you don't see a picture of me in the corner on a blue background with a YouTube link, and it shows Jonathan Taylor in the thumbnail.
No, what I'm saying, Smitty, is whenever you do something, it shows up dark. It shows up dark black shade. There's something new in there. What I'm saying is, it didn't give me a notification that there was anything in there, and it was not dark at all. So if I don't know there's something new in there, I'm not going to go in there and look.
I don't know why that would be, because I have a lot of people reacting that they see it. So part of me wonders if it has to.
Look at how long it took me to get in here. You're already 30-some minutes into the show by the time I actually showed up and found out that you were live, and I didn't have an opportunity to get in the live draft the last 2 times we've done it.
I don't know. I'm not sure if maybe it's a notification setting though on my channel. Like if you go to my profile.
Well, just keep going on with it. We'll figure all this out later. It's not a big deal.
Well, but if you do go to my profile, there's a bell notification. And
okay, I'll look at it.
Yeah, and if you turn on all those, that'll be how you get alerted.
Just think how depressed all of us are going to be if New England draft Bijan.
Thank you, Gravy. Appreciate you.
We don't know why they would.
If New Orleans,
we are all gonna...
New Orleans drafts Bijan, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like that.
No, New England.
Oh, New England.
No, he said New England.
New England. Yeah, I don't want that either. That'll hurt Ramondre, and it'll be kind of a depressing situation to begin with. I think the Falcons would be a mixed bag too, because we'd say bye to Algier. The Lions at 18, they're not going to take him at 6, but if he fell to the Lions at 18, that's going to be depressing too, because then you got Swift, Monty, and Bijan all in one place, and they're going to be like, we're going to run the damn ball. We're going to run, that's okay, we'll run the ball. The Chargers would be...
We might not want to see it, but if they deal Henry away, Tennessee could... hey, Bijan would be the perfect backup to Henry. I mean, a perfect replacement.
Replacement, yeah. Baltimore's my fear. I don't want him going to Baltimore. I don't. I don't want it. I hope Bijan. The thing is, like, looking at the board, it's like we're like looking at the Eagles and Bears at 9 and 10, and we're just hoping. If that doesn't happen, then it's like, will a team trade up for him, or will he go to New England? Will he go to Detroit at 18? Will he go to the Chargers at 21 is a pretty good spot if they're going to trade Eckler away or just for the long term. However, if he goes there and Eckler stays, then there's a potential like 2023, not letdown, but like there's some reason to think he might not have the number 1 overall running back season that I've been saying he could have as a rookie, but he still could be top 5 to 10 running back. Because they've done the Lightning and Thunder before, and it's worked amazingly. But I just don't know that we want Bijan to get a lot of the receiving work, and I think Eckler would take a lot of that. But hopefully he goes to the Bears or the Eagles or even the Texans at 12. I know that would suck for Dameon Pierce, but I'd rather have him go there than go somewhere horrible a little bit later.
What about Washington?
Yeah, that's another place I don't. That's another place I don't really want. I mean, it's kind of crowded there anyway. You got 2 other RBs that are just kind of in the way. Yeah. And then they don't have an offense that moves the chains. I don't know.
They get Gibson in an instant.
I guess I guess the way I would look at this if I had to look at it from a positive perspective. If Bijan went to Washington, I would say they better get their quarterback in there within the next year, and it could be a free agency move or trade next offseason. It doesn't have to be a rookie. Bijan, McLaurin, they've got some pieces there. It really is kind of similar to the Jets. It just the Washington Commanders need a quarterback. If they had an Aaron Rodgers, it would be a whole different ball game, So like if Bijan landed there's some upside, but there's also a lot of I don't know. And I want him in Dallas. That would hurt. I mean, can you imagine a Tony Pollard and Bijan are on the same roster? Like, as a fan, a Dallas fan, a Cowboy fan, no fantasy fan, just a Cowboy fan, you'd love it. But Dallas, I mean, please don't. Please don't ruin the upside.
That
would
27
sound
to
like
31 is the place for him to go if he falls, somewhere in there.
I was just gonna say that it would sound like Jerry Jones to try to trade up for him, especially since didn't he play for Texas? So it seemed like that'd be something that Jerry Jones would want to do. Would be convinced that if he ends up like falling in love with him to try to talk to his son and see if they can trade up for him.
Yeah. Hey guys, click before I unpin this Instagram notifications link. Please click that and subscribe to it. It's free. It's on Instagram. And if you turn your notifications on, we'll have to check into why Ron's saying he didn't see it. But every time I go live, every time I go live on YouTube, I put a story post on my Instagram. So if you go to my Instagram profile and you click the bell at the top, you can turn on all the notifications for every one of my events. If I do a story post, that's what you really want to do. Live streams and story posts, mainly. You can do it all. But if those are turned on, then every time I go live on YouTube, you will get a notification from Instagram. You'll maybe get the notification from YouTube, but you won't miss the live streams. But you have to use Instagram as a source. But click that link now because I'm going to replace the link right now. So get on that Instagram channel. Right here is the private draft on Underdog. We need one more person. 12-man league. There you go. I
mean, if he falls past Tampa or someone like that, I think someone's going to end up trading up. I think there's going to be more trades in the first round too than
Tampa 19.
People think.
Maybe. Look, he's a generational talent beyond generational talent, and so what might we see a team go after Bijan in a trade up? Maybe. They normally don't see that, but I think we might see it this time around.
If Tampa were to take Bijan, that pretty much ends the Mike or the Rashad White thing there. Yeah.
Bijan to the Bengals. I mean, that's a late draft pick, bro. Bijan to the Bengals. That's 28 overall. They've got to trade up.
That's why I think someone will trade up, and unless there's just a team out of the blue just takes them where they're sitting. But like you said, you kind of went through it and saw different ways all those teams could go.
One more. We pinned. Okay, so here's the
almost there.
Here's the link now.
Hey, Smitty, what do you think about Cole Kmet? You think that he's gonna be somebody as a tight end that you want to look at? Or,
for sure.
Because they brought in what's that tight end from the Packers? Because they brought Tunyon.
Yeah.
You think that Tunyon's gonna cut into his workload, or you're still not worried? Like, you're not really too worried about that?
Golf says if Bijan goes to Philly, I'll donate $50 to Smitty and family. Okay, we'll take it, Golf. We'll take your super chat. Let's go, Bijan. Yeah, I think Tunyon isn't going to dig into it too much. He's got good rapport, Cole Kmet with Fields, and I really like with DJ Moore there. Cole Kmet's not going to be like a focal point at all. He's going to be a second thought to defensive scheming. So he's definitely going to have a good year. I really, really like Kmet.
Where in your best ball drafts right now, where is he going? Is he going late, or is he going high up there? Is he somebody that people are just forgetting about?
Definitely, people are not drafting him as high as you would think. His ADP for tight ends, Cole Kmet, is, and this is very accurate, he's 130.7 ADP. 130, bro. My math was way off last time, so let me just try this again. That's what 9 point, or no, yeah. What round is that? That's let's see, 100. What did I say? 130.
130. What is that, like 9th, 10th round or something?
round 10 in a 12 league.
Yeah, around 10 to 11.
Round 10.
10 to 11.
Yeah.
He's in that territory, 10 to 11. That's really good. That's a really good tight end location.
That definitely sounds pretty good then, because you like him and you think that he's going to be pretty good. That if you get him at round 10, that means that he definitely has upside for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, also another thing too. I know that you like the rookies this year, but is Caleb Williams somebody that you want to go after next year? I mean, I know it's still kind of early because we haven't seen how it played out this year, but
yeah, I mean, I want to see more of him, but yeah, I like him. I do. I think the only person that I know, I almost know for like a fact that is going to be even better than advertised, or at least match the hype, is Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's going to be everybody's 1.1. In that, people love to pretend that they're like on it before other people too. So like everyone's like almost over evaluating him and overvaluing him. He could be the number 1 overall wide receiver in the league though. He really could be. I think he's a top 3 is a little bold, but top 5 rookie. Like as a rookie, he could be top 5 in the NFL at the wide receiver position. Like Jamar Chase and JJ had those kind of years. Definitely feel like Marvin Harrison Jr. It kind of depends on where he goes, but he's going to have such high draft capital. You know, he's not going into a cloudy spot in terms of like usage, but maybe the team doesn't have a quarterback. You know, like maybe the Colts end up not getting Levis and they go the route of Minshew and they get the number 1 overall pick and they've got no quarterback. Like they could still take Marvin. Marvin could have maybe like a situation like that makes him like waiting on a quarterback for the next year and then he goes nuts or whatever. But I think he'll probably land. The odds are he's going to have a competent enough quarterback that he's going to look really, really well. Keep in mind that like Calvin Johnson was the best wide receiver in football, and there was a time where he had no good quarterback play. You know, like so the elite of the elite will still find a way. And sometimes, you know, you have a quarterback that the team's down and throwing in the 3rd and 4th quarter a lot, and so it works out still. But Marvin Harrison Jr. is the main dog. But we'll be looking at that college 2024 class real soon. We'll do it a little earlier. This year we got a little late jump on it because there's a lot of off-season stuff going on. You what?
No, I'm just gonna say because like you've been doing this for a long time. How like when you dive into like the rookies and stuff like that, and like you watch them and you decide like who's good and stuff based off like what you watch and everything. Like how far out do you go? Like do you look at like because you talk like you look at the 2024 guys, but do you like look at like the 2025 guys, or you just take it like 1 year at a time?
I mean,
before like
I mean, it's similar to like, you know, I'm watching all the games, or I'm watching as many of the college games as I can. So like I'm watching all the guys that can't declare, like Marvin Harrison Jr. And you look at them and you're seeing them, and so I mean I'm just absorbing the normal college football, you know, season. And you know, like when I was watching Devontae Smith, I'm like, okay, here's this guy. You're always looking at the Ohio State guys. I don't know. I'm not doing anything other than watching the games and saying, wow, I'm noticing this guy's looking good. Hey, you know, Bijan's been on everybody's mind for well over a year and a half, 2 years. So, you know,
do you ever plan out a year ahead? Like I know a ton of people were like planning for Bijan, making moves, trying to get draft picks in Dynasty. Like, do you bother with that, or you just take that year by year?
Yeah, I did when I was not doing the show. I don't have time for like I'm in a lot of dynasty leagues, like a lot. I'd say a lot less than I was. I got out of some of them, but I don't have time. I barely have time to set my lineup, bro. To be honest with you, so like I'm giving advice on how to do that, but I'm not necessarily able to apply much at all because I'm literally live all the time. I'm creating content all the time. I'm becoming one of the worst owners because I just can't keep up with the leagues I have. There's 1 or 2 leagues that I'll really keep a close watch on, and if like news breaks, I'll pull that league up. I'll make sure I pick up the player in that league. But like I can't comb through everything that I have. I get to it all very late, and it's just the unfortunate nature of what I do. Like, I'm sacrificing, like, if I'm, example, on Sunday mornings when we do the start bench advice on Sunday morning, 1 hour before kickoff, we go live, or a half hour before kickoff, we go live here on the YouTube channel, right? And let's say, I always use Keenan Allen as an example. Keenan Allen's ruled out in the last 30 minutes. If I've got Keenan Allen, and I'm sure I do, in 2 or 3 or 4 leagues, he's starting. He's starting injured. Even though I'm breaking the news that Keenan Allen's out, I don't have I can't do that. I can't look at that. I'm talking about it. I'm on the live stream. I'm not going to compromise me fumbling around on my phone going, hey guys, appreciate you. Hold on a second. Let me get into this league. Being here today. Hold on. Keenan Allen's out. I can't do that. Like, I take my job really seriously. And so it's like, I'm talking to you guys. You're more important than my league. I could care less really about every single league I have at the end of the day, minus 1 or 2 of them that I might pull it up and do 2 things at once because it's one league, But I just like, bro, I'm gonna start injured players all the time. Like, some people make fun of me, like, so I'm in a league with Smitty and he's not that good because I can't even play in it. I'm barely in the league. I'm sorry, it's just the way it is. Not trying to make excuses, but like, that's why best ball is so awesome, because I can draft as many times as I want, and I don't have to do a single thing. It's all done for you. And the strategy, I remember when I first heard of best ball, it was called something else. It was called Draft Masters or something. Back when I was, I think 2008, 9, 10, somewhere around there. I was about 5 or 6 years into the business. I've been doing this since 2003. Not the YouTube channel necessarily, but the content and radio. And I remember in like 2000, I want to say 8, 2009, 2010, somewhere around there, there was they were called like Draft Master Leagues or something. And I remember when I first heard about it, I'm like, you just draft and then you don't worry about it, and the optimal lineup set for you and all that. And I remember thinking to myself, like, this is boring. Like, what fun's that? But you learn when you do best ball. Yeah, you learn when you do best ball that there's so much strategy behind how to construct your team. Like the stack conversation that gentleman had at the beginning of the show. Or taking 3 tight ends, taking 4 quarterbacks, drafting guys that aren't going to do anything until week 10, but they're going to be coupled with players like Henry or Eckler or Cook that you feel might be amazing for 10 weeks, but have the very high risk of injury at week 10, 11, 12, and double-digit weeks. Well, guess what? Javonte Williams you're drafting to pair with Derrick Henry, and so if Derrick Henry falls off and Javonte finally gets on his horse in week 10, the best ball is so fun. It's so fun. Promo code Smitty. Get it done. Links in the description.
One more person.
Friends go. I remember when the auction leagues first came out, and that was like the biggest thing, like, since sliced bread, the auction leagues. And then, then you got something that they fade off and something else takes its place, and now we're at like best ball taking the place of a lot of stuff now.
I need to do more auction content. I know a lot of guys don't like the auction drafting, but I love auction content, and the way I'm going to do auction content, it'll help people that are not doing auctions, because I'm going to be talking about just value. So if I say something along the lines of like, okay, when you're bidding on a player and he's this amount, like there'll be some redraft and best ball applications to it. So like I'll try and make the auction videos very regular draft geared or whatever. Yeah. But my trade calculator on thefantasyfootballshow.com, it's built off of auction dollars. And so I invented this bad boy in 2003, and that's why I got into the industry. Is in 2003, nobody had a trade calculator that I could find. Nobody had an instant-based trade calculator too. I wanted to pull up a calculator and click on 2 names and it instantly tell me what to do. I didn't want to submit my roster, my scoring. I just wanted who do you like better? Computer, calculator. Do you like, back then, Adrian Peterson, or do you like LaDainian Tomlinson? And if you were to add this player to it and make it a 2-for-1, does it change anything? Nobody had this instant front-facing, customer-facing, browser-facing trade calculator. It was all downloadable, programs, and you got to enter your scoring and keep your roster up to date, and and there were very few of those even. And so I created this trade calculator, and it's built off auction dollars, and you essentially can't really trick it. There's things you need to keep in mind and things that help make it more accurate, but it's off of auction dollars. So if you essentially say that you're gonna draft Christian McCaffrey for, let's say, $80 out of $200. So out of $200 purse, you're paying McCaffrey $85. Then you could get Jahmyr Gibbs at $28 and Chris Olave at $45, and combined you're near that same total of Christian McCaffrey. So if you ask the trade calculator Olave and Jahmyr Gibbs over in redraft over Christian McCaffrey, you're going to get a very similar value because of the auction dollars that you can't trick. It's all usage of that money. And the trade calculator, when you calculate the trade on the fantasyfootballshow.com, let me pull it up here and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. When you calculate the trade, this is the fantasyfootballshow.com. So if you go to the trade calculator and you pull up the players, so we're gonna put in Jahmyr Gibbs. So we'll go to J, and you can, if you're on a computer, you can type in J, and as you type in the name, it'll pull it up immediately. So if you go Jahmyr Gibbs, it has Jahmyr Gibbs there. We're gonna go Chris Olave. So we'll go to Chris, and we'll put in Chris Olave, and then we'll go to Christian McCaffrey. So we'll go to Christian McCaffrey on this other side, and we'll put him in. Or should we do Christian McCaffrey? Yeah, we'll do Christian McCaffrey. So right here it tells you in redraft, Christian McCaffrey's worth $55, and Jahmyr Gibbs and Olave's worth $83. In Dynasty, and it gives you the same value, or it gives you this on the same trade, gives you both values. In Dynasty, it's $41, and it's 83, so 95. So it's hard to trick the calculator, and to take a player off, you just click them. So then you go like that.
You set all your own dollar values and ranks and stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes there's a glitch or something. Like that McCaffrey value probably needs to be more like 60. I need to up that. I don't know what's going on there. Eckler. So if we'll go, let's go Bijan. So Bijan at 52. And McCaffrey just needs a little bit of a bump, I think. But Bijan at 52. And then on the other side, let's pick Christian Watson at 38. So if you were going to add another player, all you got to do is click the drop down again because the player is already there. So if I click the drop down again, I'm just going to be adding to that side. So if I go, let's say, so we got Bijan and let's go Chris Olave again. So Bijan and Chris Olave over, I'm sorry, Christian Watson and Olave over Bijan. You've got the dollar amount there that heavily outweighs the Bijan amount, because if you're going to go spend money on those guys. So here's what you got to do sometimes to make it a little bit more accurate. You're way too high on CMC. I don't think $55 is way too high on CMC. I think it's actually a couple of dollars low. CMC in an auction draft out of $200 would easily go above. What do you think? You're thinking like $40 player. He's going to be $55-$60 easy in a $200 league. So Bijan. So if you're making this trade, sometimes you got to look to the waiver wire and say, like, who could you pick up? Some people are in deep leagues. Let's say you can pick up a player like, trying to find a decent player. Let's say you're in a very small league. You what?
No, go ahead.
Let's say Ayuk's there because you're in a very small league. Some people will be like, hey, the waiver wire is super. We're in an 8-team league or something like that. Well, if you add in the waiver wire guy, you can make this thing a lot closer. Like if you throw Ayuk onto it with, or let's say you're looking at your bench and you say, well, I've got on my bench, I've got a player like Calvin Ridley on my bench. So if I make this trade, I know I'm going to overpay, but I want to know my lineup wise. Can I put my line? You can enter your lineup in your lineup before the trade and the lineup after the trade, and you can kind of calculate it that way. So let's say you have Calvin Ridley on your bench. you can make this thing almost near even, dead even, by saying, I'll trade away Olave and Watson for Bijan because I've got Calvin Ridley stashed on my bench, and now he gets to go into my lineup. So you can look at the trade calculator 100 different ways, and use and apply it in that way, and it gives you the redraft and the dynasty dollar values. So that's all. If anybody's interested, that's all over at thefantasyfootballshow.com. McCaffrey $40? I don't think so, bro. He's not going at $40.
$40.
He's going he's going third or fourth overall in a $200 auction draft purse. You're spending 60 sometimes. It depends. It could be 55, 57 to 65. It just depends on your league. But there's no.
People might do 70.
Yeah, it could be 70. It could be 70. 40 is not even close. 40 is what you're going to pay for, like. Chubb's going to be over 40. All right, guys. Hey, I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to give you each a couple seconds on the line here, and then I'm going to get going here. Appreciate you all joining me. Let's start off with Steven. Steven, you've been quiet again. What's the final thing you want to say, Steven?
Well, I wanted to get back to I guess I'll get back to the college stuff. I mean, because I know that you said that you have like watch like guys and like you think that some dudes are gonna be good. I wanted to get your thoughts on Arch Manning, because I know you said that you watch college.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is gonna be his first year playing at Texas. I don't know. I don't know if like you hear like the hype on like some of like the high school guys and all that type of stuff, but just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Like if you knew that much about him, and if you want to like see how he does and stuff.
Yeah, I like Arch. We got to definitely see what we definitely got to see what he. We can't jump to conclusions and just say genetics are going to make this guy the number one overall quarterback coming out. It very well could. He looks really good, but we need to see him in action a little more. So we get glimpses of him, and I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see him evolve. But I don't know what to make of him yet. Yeah. I think the genetics are there for sure. I'm really excited about him. We kind of felt this way about Marvin Harrison, right? But Junior, but we didn't really know, and now we know. Keep in mind that Michael Jordan had a son. We thought he was going to be good. Anybody ever remember hearing about him? I remember I bought his son's domain name because I thought this guy. When I heard his kid was like got in high school, I bought his domain name, and he didn't amount to anything. I was getting real excited. This is like back in the day, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't. Genetics, it takes a little more than that, but I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is the guy. He's for sure the guy. Arch Manning probably will be good. I imagine he'll be good. I imagine he'll be in the NFL. I imagine he'll be a starter in the NFL. I just don't know what to make of him yet. But a lot of great mechanics. What I've seen, I like a lot, but I do need to see more of him. I haven't watched enough of him to really say. This real quickly, but yeah, to answer your question, I watch a lot of college, but I don't focus on the guys that I don't have time to focus on the guys that can't declare yet, and start doing all those kinds of write-ups and evaluations on it, because their game's going to evolve, so I'm not necessarily wanting to waste my time on evaluating something that can really help no one. Some people play in like Devy leagues and stuff, and we cover some of that sometimes, but mostly when someone asks about it on a show, on a call or whatever. But I'm more about the immediate guys coming out, the incoming rookie class. And then, of course, we take notice and we're like, get ready for Bijan Robinson. And so people have been preparing for him for years, like you said. And I certainly do try and help people plan for how to trade for those picks. Like example, I'm going to have a bunch of video courses dropping very, very soon on the fantasyfootballshow.com. And one of those will be like how to trade for in advance for the draft slot. Like if you anticipate somebody being really, really good 2 years from now in the draft, how do you target a team? How do you identify a team that's falling apart? How do you identify a team that's probably going to have the most likelihood of getting the 1.1? How do you look ahead that far ahead to try and pull something like that off? How many picks should you try and go after? having the let's say you get the 1.3, 1.5, 1.6, 1.8. There's some advantages of saying I could turn that into the 1.1. A lot of people make dumb moves. A lot of people make dumb trades. A lot of people like bulk and they'll get rid of quality for quantity. And so if you've got the 1.3, 1.7, 1.8, you could potentially trade one of those to move that 1.3 to 1.1. There's a whole bunch of different ways to get the 1.1, even if you're not lucky enough to have the draft slot that ends up drawing the 1.1. So look for those videos on the fantasyfootballshow.com. Steven, I appreciate you. I got to let you jump, and then I'm going to run to go to Travis for 20 seconds. Steven, call in tomorrow, pal. Love having you on the show, pal.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, man. Thanks for letting me call in and just having some conversations with you and just bringing up some like topics and stuff, man.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
All right, take it easy. Travis.
I don't really have anything. That slow draft is starting though.
Yep. I see
Harry
it.
Crumb's up.
Yep.
And Rock out.
Yep. Harry Crumb's out. Rock out's next, and then me. I'm up at the 5 spot.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Travis.
Yeah.
Later,
Thanks, Smitty.
broski.
I'll talk to you later.
Rock out. Be prepared. You're going to be on the clock in a second.
I'm looking at it.
All right. Appreciate you, Rock out.
All right.
Anything you wanted to add? Any final thoughts?
Is there a number 3 receiver on an NFL team that's viable in fantasy?
Number 3 wide receiver viable. I'm sure. Let's go to the wide receivers.
Tyler Boyd.
That's one.
Yeah, let's bring out him.
Zay Jones. I mean, he's now number 3.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis might be a number 3 very, very soon.
Possibly.
Mike Thomas, he's a number 3.
Gallup or Cooks is going to be a number 3 in Dallas.
Right.
Alan Lazard will probably be the number 2. So if Odell lands in New York, Sky Moore's like treated like that. I think Sky Moore could be the number 1 in KC. Not for sure, but could be.
Yeah.
Especially if you factor in like Kelsey to Kadarius Toney and then Sky Moore, then it really is the third receiving option. But Sky Moore is probably my favorite of the guys I've listed. Hodgins could be the number 1, but might be treated like the 2 or 3 in New York. Rondell Moore's interesting. Hunter Renfrow would have been, but I'm not like super. I mean, he's okay. That's all I could come up with right now.
Calvin Austin. Now that Sims was signed with Houston, Calvin Austin is going to be the Steelers' number 3, and is basically going to be his rookie year.
Yeah, Dotson's I think
Dotson's
like a 2. Yeah, he's not really a wide receiver 3. All right, Rock out. Appreciate you, man. Good,
all right.
Good question. Later.
Yeah.
Isaac, 20 seconds. Hello? Isaac must have fell asleep. Isaac fell asleep.
Isaac pulled a rock out.
I think he fell asleep. Let's listen real closely. He did say he's going to fall asleep. Oh, he is. That's he's sleeping. Is he just?
We got a rock out too.
Is he just trying to do? Is he trying to steal Rock Out's thunder?
Rock out snored heavier. He's just breathing
All right,
heavy.
Ron, let's let him snore for like 3 times so everybody can hear it.
All right.
Sounds like Darth Vader. You are in a dream right now. Bijan Robinson was drafted to the Seattle Seahawks, and Kenneth Walker is no longer playing football, Isaac. You're in a nightmare. Well, on that note, Ron, anything else?
Yeah, you should have told Isaac. You got the 1.1 and you ended up picking Ezekiel Elliott, number 1 pick.
ASRM, whatever it's called. ASMR. Yeah. ASMR. I always say it wrong. ASRM. ASMR. You are asleep.
Oh, that's hilarious.
This is what he sounds like.
Rock Out's in the chat saying, "Wake up."
I think Rock Out's probably mad. Like he's stealing his thunder. This is Rock Out's a bit.
Now, Rock Out actually snored.
Well, it's the disappointing part is he's been doing this for a while, and we're just now realizing it.
Yeah. Lightweights, I tell you, lightweights.
Hey, you know, we got to give it to him. He sounds like he's a little bit in shape. This is not a very loud snore. This is a very moderate snore. So, you know, sounds like he's pretty, unless he's like sitting on his side or he's got a tennis ball under his back right now.
Luke, I am your father.
All right, everybody be very quiet.
Take a look.
Well,
what time is it? We can tell the time, so when you talk to him again, you say, "Go listen to at this time." Go listen to the show.
What, Isaac? Is that sleep apnea? Isaac.
Could be.
Isaac, breathe. Isaac, breathe. Oh, no.
It'll roll over.
Somebody get a hold of Isaac. We're losing him. It's not a good sign, guys. Well, I hope he's okay. I hope he finished his draft. He had a real great start. All right, Ron, I'm out of here. Appreciate you.
All righty. Have a good night.
All right, later, Ron.
I'll probably do my own draft here.
All right, cool. Take it easy. Isaac, appreciate you joining us on the line, Isaac. We're going to go ahead and I'm real worried about him, though. We haven't heard him in a minute. Isaac? We better get the Zigmeister on standby to call the police. Ambulance. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little worried about him at this point. Let's see if we can wake him up. Isaac? Ikey boy. Ike, this is your mother. I don't know. Let's see if I have any outstanding super chats, and then I'm going to jump. Super chats. We got Harry Crumbs. We got TMT's $20 hauler. This is best fantasy show on the planet. Appreciate that. I'm gonna drop these on the outro screen on the way out the door. Appreciate you all. Isaac, we'll see you later, pal. I'm gonna let you go. Hope he's okay. There he goes. Isaac is gone, ladies and gentlemen. I hope he's not gone. You know what I mean? That was a poor choice of words. Isaac is off the line. Isaac, I hope you're well. TMT, appreciate this $20 hauler again, my guy. Crumbs, appreciate you. Lancaster dropping the super chat wads all over the screen. He's going to eat his hat with a fork and plenty of butter if Zeke Elliott outscores Rojo. Can't wait for that. Harry Crumbs dropping the super chat at the beginning. Says I missed the super chat the night prior. I'm sorry about that. Baltimore franchise tag. Talked about that. Appreciate you all. I'll see you all on the flip side tomorrow. Peace out.
The Moon Men, dropping loads in outer space.
The tripod, also likened to pyramids in ancient Egypt, are constructed using burrow or Hertz, chase or a JB Hull or Walker.
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the live chat.
It's time for some revenge, baby. Revenge tour, revenge tour. Revenge tour, revenge tour.